Good morning and welcome to Paper Crafting with Tracy. Today I'm going to show you how to make this double flap card here. And it opens up like this, though the one I'm going to show you, I'm going to put some detail on the inside. Okay. And I found a similar card with Connie Stewart, is who I cased it from, though I changed the flaps a little bit to match my designer series paper. So the paper I wanted to focus on is this paper here, which is in the new catalog, which is coming out for you at the beginning of May. And this paper is called Thoughtful Journey, and it is just gorgeous. Like, look at all this paper here. There's many different designs. So you'll find all the measurements on my blog, but I've got our typical pieces of paper here. I got a bit of glue here. I'll try and avoid that. I'm using Misty Moonlight, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Some boho blue, which is 4 by 5 1/4. And then, of course, my basic white cardstock, which is 3 3/4 by 5. So I'm going to start with that one, and I'm going to put a little design. And the stamp sets I'm using, okay, is the Thoughtful Wishes to go with the paper. And I'm going to use a sentiment from Unbounded Love. And the dies that go with the Thoughtful Wishes, I'll show you those here. And I've used this one here. You can still see some of the paper in it. And then the sentiment that I used, the Unbounded dies, are a whole bunch of stuff for sentiments, so I used this one. But I've already pre-cut those so that you're not watching me die cut things. Okay, so I'm going to use some Mossy Meadow here, and I only want just a little bit. Because I just want it for the corner. So I'll move that out of the way. I'll get my piece underneath so I just don't get my work surface all mucky. And I just want a bit of that in the corner. There we go. That's all I was looking for. Okay, so now it's just going to be assembly. So we can stick these aside because we need to put our flaps on here. So our two flaps, here we are. I don't remember the exact measurements, but they'll be in my blog. But they have a fold at a 1/2 inch. I'm just going to close the sink before I end up getting stuff on. And it's strongly recommended you use a bone folder for this, so just to make those nice and sharp. Like so. And now I will get my adhesive, and we're just going to run some along the edge. Okay, so how this is going to work, I'm going to start with the bigger one, is this big one is going to go here. But what you want to remember is your matting is going to be in just 1/4 inch. So you want to start this in 1/4 inch. It's not so important on the top, but it is on the side if you just want it covered. So I find it easier if I fold that down, come in just kind of that 1/4 inch, and then place it down like so. And then I'm going to do the same thing here on the side. This is a super easy card and a fabulous way to showcase designer series paper that has like some landscape designs or that sort of thing. Okay, so now I'll mat these. There's some really exciting stuff coming out in this new catalog, so you'll be seeing a bunch more coming out as I design more. And then you can see once I put this one on that it hid those edges, like so. Okay, so now what I need to do is get my designer series paper. And I've already pre-cut one, but what I will do is I'll show you here. And I just need to get some, I'll get my pre-cut out, sorry about that. So what you do is orientate your paper how you want it. And of course this is double-sided. Okay. And I'm going to cut it directly in half at the 3-inch. Then we're going to take each of the 3-inch and divide it into 3.5 and then the 2.5. So you're actually going to use all of the paper. And that's part of the reason why I changed the flap, is so that I didn't have to use 2 pieces of designer series paper for this one. I wanted it all to match. So this is what I've got. And I'm going to mount them. You can choose whichever side you want. Oops. And I didn't mat these. I didn't think they needed matting. Because I didn't want to make the card too heavy. So, and now the other ones are going to go on the inside. And again, you can choose whichever side of your paper you want. But it finishes the inside of the card quite nicely. Okay. So there, we've got the inside done. Now we just need to put our sentiment on. So I will get these couple pieces. Now I've used one of the die cuts, and I just have to get my scissors here because you can see there's still a few little things that didn't come out. The little fine pieces, which is okay, those are easy to pop out. And there we go. And I'm going to have that going across the card like so. So I just want to be very careful as to how I glue that on. So all I did is kind of guesstimate. So that's part of the reason why I didn't use my adhesive sheets, because I do not want the whole thing done. Okay, so I'll just put a little bit of glue on this. And you just want to be careful not to put too much on, because it will ooze out. Okay, so I'll stick it on like so. And then my sentiment, I'm going to use some Misty Moonlight. And I've got my sentiment. I'm going to do it as a sympathy card this time. Oops, didn't get the full thing. There we go. And then I just used dimensionals to pop that up. And again, being mindful, okay, as to where this is going, because it might overhang a little bit, so I will have my dimensionals more on the one side. so that I've kind of centered it a little bit, like so. And now you can use some embellishments. So I'm using the adhesive back Pearl Trios here. And I think I will use a couple of those there and another one up here. Oops. There we go. A quick double flap sympathy card. So I hope you've enjoyed this edition of Paper Crafting with Tracey. Please subscribe to the channel and happy stamping.